A realtor typically earns income through commissions based on the successful completion of a real estate transaction. Here's a general overview of how a realtor gets paid and how much they actually get to keep. So let's talk about commission structure. Usually, realtors work under brokerage firms unless they are a broker themselves, and they have a contractual agreement that outlines their commission structure with their brokerage. The commission is a percentage of the final sale price of a property. For an example, let's take a look at a home that's priced at $400,000. And in the local multiple listing service, the MLS, the seller is offering a 2.5% commission to be paid to the agent that is bringing the buyer, essentially the one that is ultimately causing the house to be sold. So that 2.5% commission would equate to $10,000, right? Well, realtors don't actually get to keep all of that money, and here's why. Typically, 20% of your commission goes to your broker or your brokerage. That's $2,000 gone right there. Plus, you've got E&O fees, that stands for errors and admissions, transaction coordinator fees, other association fees and dues. And on average, this is going to run you about $600 per transaction. There are other fees involved, like the amount of money you've spent on gas, driving around, looking at houses, auto insurance, maintenance and repairs, on average about $200 per transaction. Then you've got marketing fees. Depending on the number of transactions, you could be spending around $100 to $500 or more per transaction. Then what about client gifts? If you're a realtor like me, I do like giving my clients gifts. That's going to run you about $50 to $100 per transaction. And OMG, what about taxes? Let's not forget about Uncle Sam. That's going to be about 25% or about $2,000 right off of what is left after paying your broker. So that $10,000 commission check really ends up being closer to $5,000. Still a commission, right? Still a good commission, right? But if you're only selling a few homes a year, maybe not a great way to make a living. Depends on how you live, of course. Now, there are two types of agents actually getting paid on a transaction. There's the listing agent. When a realtor represents the seller in a real estate transaction, they usually earn a commission based on the percentage of the sales price. In most cases, the seller is going to agree to pay a total amount of commission to the listing broker. For example, think Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, eXp Realty. You get the drift. And then that commission, that total commission, is typically shared between the seller's agent or the listing agent and the buyer's agent. Sharing is caring. Now, if the listing agent brings the buyer as well, instead of another agent bringing the buyer, then that listing agent could possibly get both sides of the commissions, depending on what is agreed to within the listing agreement. By the way, this is what is commonly referred to as double ending the sale. This is not typically recommended, however, because it's literally impossible to represent both parties in their respective best interest. I wouldn't do it. I don't like doing it. And then you've got the buyer's agent. If a realtor represents the buyer, they may receive a portion of the commission listed in the local MLS or offered by the seller's agent as compensation for their services. This agreement is most often negotiated upfront between the seller and the listing agent. It's important to note that commission rates and structures can certainly vary depending on your market location and specific agreements between the realtor and their brokerage. It is always recommended to discuss and clarify the commission details with your realtor before entering into any contractual agreements. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.